Assuming we're going live. Are we? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm here until my existence is validated by others. I will assume I'm here because all the lights are shining the way they're supposed to. And all of the audio things are moving the way they're supposed to. So I have to assume we're here.
I would think so. Well, I'm getting the introductory ad.
Woo! Our tenth of a penny. Woo!
Until one of us says the F word.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure it will be coming.
You know what's funny? I want to attempt to be very reasoned and measured for this episode. I don't think it's going to happen, but frankly, of the two of us who froths at the mouth over these topics, it tends to be you.
That's true. That is very true.
I tend to stay very measured and calm and emotionally regulated, except when I'm crying. And you will get us demonetized. Thank you to everybody who just validated our existence.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 5 minutes early. If you are here for the live stream and you don't like idle chit chat, you got a few minutes. If you're here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps and you don't like idle chit chat, fast forward by 5 minutes. I got the words out!
You did. You did good.
I'm going to say hello.
Okay. Start saying hello.
Hi, Taishu, and thank you for the top of the line messages there. I'm glad we have set expectations and boundaries for today's episode. Hi, Andre. Hi, Silent. Hi, Kim. Scrolling. Hi, Leah. Hi, Mally. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Dorina. Scrolling. Hi, Clipper RN. Scrolling. Hi, Eva. Scrolling. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Y'all are talking, and I love that, but I got these old lady eyes. So.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my cheeks have already gotten red and flushed.
And you haven't even started yet.
I hadn't even started. Now, part of it was I watching a lot of freaking content on Instagram that is about gestures broadly at the world? Yes. Was I trying to do what we call our homework when we send each other reels back and forth? I was trying to catch up on that. I still have more to watch when we're done streaming here. So it gets my blood pressure up.
Yeah.
I have been going over how I want this episode to go in my head since the moment we both agreed on. Before we both agreed on it, when I was just going, I need to see if JB is ready for this. Can we do this? Right. But I've been mentally rehearsing this whole episode in my head, and here's what happens when I do the rehearsal in my head, or even out loud when I talk to myself. Half the things I say to myself that are witty, that are intelligent, that are on point, I won't say those. It'll come out all fumbled and mumbled and jumbled. So, yeah. Whew. But we are in the butt rub.
We are.
What do you have for the butt rub?
It's fucking cold.
I don't even feel it right now.
No?
Now, to be fair, I'm wearing a hoodie and a t-shirt underneath. I don't usually bundle up quite that much bundle up, I know. I have my fuzzy socks on, and you have had the little space heater thing pointed in my general direction for hours. Also, my blood pressure keeps going up.
That's true.
So I'm not really feeling the cold right now. Hey, Rara.
Yeah, my fingers are very cold.
Hi, Vicky. Ooh, and from Ireland.
Wow.
Welcome to your first live. I hope we don't disappoint.
Yeah. A little bit different than what we normally do, but yeah.
But it's important, and it's been important.
Oh yeah.
But there's also this. You have to be. I'm a believer that sometimes you have to do shit before you're ready to do it, but in something like this where I want us to take care of the topic, I had to be ready. And when I realized I was dissociating over the weekend because of gestures broadly at the world, I was like, okay, it's time to be ready. Hi, Molly.
And I hope, everybody is being safe with this storm.
The winter storm.
The winter storm. Yeah,
Is it still going on? I have not looked at the weather, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Apparently, there's going to be. I don't know if this was just like the precursor.
Okay.
But now the next wave that coming right behind it, I think, is going to be the big Kahuna, so to speak.
Well, the fact that we are going to potentially get, so the temperatures, our lows are going to be in the like 20s at the lowest, the coldest,
like around 20.
but our
is
feels
predicted.
like is going to be anywhere from 7 to 12 degrees.
Yeah.
Has our heater ever had to work that hard before?
Our heater would not work under those conditions.
Really?
Yeah.
What are we going to do then?
Well, the heat pump
Right.
will not work.
Okay.
We would have to run what they call the emergency.
Then I guess we will.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for our electric bill.
Well,
next
that's
month.
yeah. The electric, the power company will love it.
Oh yeah.
But these extreme temperatures, people getting snowed in and everything. I hope folks are being safe and being smart out there.
Yeah. And if you only have a few bars and a little bit of battery and your power's in and out, we are not a priority. We'll be here when the storm passes. Okay, take care of yourself.
Yeah. So.
Original Capri Sun. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, it's 3:00.
Okay.
Let's see how flushed I can get before
Goodness.
everything, whatever. I don't think you can tell from the title of this episode exactly what we're doing here. I tried to put something in the description box down below. We're going to get into the whys and wherefores when we're like in it and podcast recording part is with us and all that. But we are going to talk about the state of affairs of, I say the world, but it is the U.S. because there's a lot going on in the world. And this would have been a much longer episode if I had tried to include any of that. We are not here to debate politics. That's not fucking happening. Nobody needs to debate their existence to debate me bro kind of dude in any comment section. We are here to acknowledge the state of the world. Yeah. And for those who are feeling helpless and hopeless and like, what can I possibly do? It's too much. It's too big. Yeah. We will hopefully offer some resources and some ideas and some encouragement. And we have other things that... one thing that shouldn't be political at all that we're actually like, yeah, let's put this out there. But it does fall within because thank you, literal world on that one. And then we're going to answer a question about DS relationships and politics. So,
okay. All right.
No, I'm not there yet. I still got a spiel, man.
Dang.
You are rushing me.
Dang, woman.
So, if we haven't scared you off yet or pissed you off yet, and you are having a good time so far, we love a thumbs up. If you like this enough to want to come back, please consider subscribing.
And once you do that, go ahead and ring that notification bell to get updates of new content.
Just do what Daddy says. Yeah, that. Woo! Okay. Yes. Okay.
And away we go.
Okay, so I'm doing this because you have to walk the line between being like a good human citizen of the world and also living under capitalism. Brief reminder that we are having our Patreon membership drive right now. And if you join now through the end of February, you get stuff in the mail sometime in April. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about it other than our Discord, quite frankly, our Discord server is sort of what gives me the strength to like, I'm going to do those, the scary thing. And I will defend the audience who should not have to justify their existence because people suck. Like that's giving me some oomph there. But we're going to talk about donation stuff today, where you can, if you have the cash to do something and you're like, how do I help the world? Like that kind of thing. And quite frankly, and I mean this, we have our own on YouTube fundraiser running. We'll talk about it in a minute. I mean this truly, bottom of my heart. If you've got an extra $5 to spend and it's between us and a cause that's important to you, please give it to
Yeah.
the cause that's important to you. We will be okay, and we're going to keep showing up. Okay? Yeah. But technically, it's a membership. God damn. I just wish the world would like let me keep a schedule. Okay.
Good luck with that.
I know. So that's all I've got to say about that. So, to be real, we don't bring up specific politics specifically often. We don't in bonus sections, surely, and when I just need a moment to vent. If you have paid attention, you know that we don't like the current administration. We did not vote for them, and could not be me.
No.
But we don't like stand up and go, here's the thing we stand for, right? Because we try to live our politics, because our politics are attached to our ethics, morals, and values. That is not going to be enough for some people, and because I've gotten the emails and comments before, it'll be too much for others. If it's too much for you, you should just nope out now, okay? Because you'll be fine, and we'll be fine. And before I get anywhere on any platform where you can communicate, just stick to kink. Why do you have to make it about politics? My baby, my precious, sweet summer child, kink is political. For all kinds of reasons, but let me break it down on a person to person if you did not know this. There are 100% people who can lose their job in America for being kinky. I have met and talked to more than one person who lost custody of their children because their FetLife profile got found and was presented in court.
Yeah.
I don't know how much the law has changed over the past few years, but a few years ago, a judge it was either Virginia or it was North Carolina, it was one of those two states, said, you do not have a right to BDSM. So even consensual fuckery, if you get picked up by the police, if somebody decides to prosecute, whatever, So kink is political. Kink and sex is not automatically part of kink. They are two separate things, but they often go together politically and then with people's lives, right? So people are kinky and it's sexy for them, blah, blah. That is heavily politicized. There is an entire section in Project 2025 that was about how do we make the scary, bad sex stuff go away. I have not heard about current legislation in any state level or federal level. If anybody has, feel free to send me the links, because the rest of the world has overtaken news feeds and, right? That hasn't happened yet, as far as I know. It's coming. It's been happening. I've said this before. It is regardless of administration. There are people even in your own political party, whichever one that might be, and you think you're like quite liberal, who would like the sex and kink stuff to go away. Right? There are people who say that cis women cannot possibly fully consent to be submissives. Like, there's some shit. Kink is political, is what I'm saying.
Here in Florida, you cannot access porn unless you
have a VPN.
Yeah. They have outlawed porn here in the state of Florida. Even as an adult, you cannot freely watch it.
They've outlawed
or consume it.
You have to prove who you are.
You have to prove who you are, but you have to jump through hoops for it.
I don't want to give any site, even a porn site, my whole entire government identity.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
not the way it's being done.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is probably outside the scope of this conversation, right?
True.
That's our point, though.
Yeah.
Your very existence as a kinky person, regardless of any other part of your identity, is inherently political. So, we get to talk about politics. Okay. So we do want to, like I said before, we try to live our morals, values, ethics. We try to be those people and embody that to the extent that we know how. We are constantly learning. We're trying to always do better. Over the years, I know OGs have heard my voice shake when I have to try and learn how to say something in a new way, because I don't like to be bad at stuff in front of people, okay? But we are going to take this moment in part so I can clip it and actually put it out everywhere else, to make sure that we are very clear. So if you thought you were in a different place than you are, we all know where we stand. Okay. Right. So I'll go down the list. If I forget anything, you jump in. Trans rights are human rights. Drag queens were never the fucking problem. Read a goddamn banned book, please, I beg you. Abortion is health care. Please say gay, because in Florida they don't want you to. They have laws against. They're trying to have legislation against them. Fuck ICE all the fucking way.
Absolutely. Fuck ICE. The only ice I want is in my goddamn coffee.
I know. They're ruining the ICE thing for me. Nobody's illegal on stolen land. Right. Let me be very clear. Yeah, if you're not committing crimes, I do not care how you got into my country. I don't care that you're here. Right. If you're working, you're raising a family. I don't care. I don't care. Murders are being committed in the streets. Yeah. Black Lives Matter. And let's also be clear that what we're seeing is not new. There are just some of us who are not used to seeing it and having to worry about it. So that's where we stand. Did I forget any?
No, not really.
I think I covered everything I meant to. There's definitely more than two genders, but y'all have always known we know that. Yeah. So that's what we're coming from. Now this.
Yeah, I'm just going to go into something real quick.
Sure, I want you to have your moment.
Florida and unfortunately Texas have been a proving ground for some of these laws that they're trying to push through at the federal level. Florida is not the Florida I moved to in 1981 in no way, shape, or form. They are trying to repeal the Fair Wages Act that the people voted in several years back, and they are trying to circumvent that. They are trying to enact a law that if you speak out against the government, whether it's local, state, or federal, you can be labeled as a domestic terrorist. That is what they're trying to do in Florida right now.
And legislation that happens at the state, if it can pass, I think it's copy-pasted around the country.
Around the country.
Now, that's Florida. Wherever you're living, God, I hope you're in another country that has better laws than we do. But if you're in another state, your state will be handling things differently, or maybe similarly. Maybe you are in a deep red state like we are.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to offer some things that maybe can give you a place to go look and see what can I do to help the people in my community. Okay. That's the whole point of this. JB and I are at this point probably over-informed about some things, obsessive on some levels. We really probably should take an Instagram break for a couple of days. Yeah. Let's be real. I don't want to get too much into that, because that is not our area of expertise. And also we could record for literal hours and still not be done. But also, this is a boundary we're placing, okay? You get to think whatever you want to think. You get to say whatever you want to say. But we are not going to get into debates with people over our politics. That's not up for debate for us. That's not in question for us. If I thought there could be a good faith conversation about policy, I might consider it, but that's not how the internet works. So if you decide to put thumbs or just all your fingers to a keyboard, tap, 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 tell me exactly how you think I'm wrong, you will be talking to yourself, because I don't give a fuck. Okay. In the live chat during the stream, my moderators are that delicious kind of evil. They're great humans in general. They wouldn't be our mods otherwise. But they do love making sure things are taken care of in the live chat. So they get to do their thing with impunity, okay? Because my concern is, one, nobody's got time to be having these back and forths, because they don't change anybody's mind. And that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to change anybody's damn mind. You're going to think what you want to think. And if you align with me, cool. If you don't, you get to decide what to do about that. But I know in our audience, there are people who are in any number of marginalized communities based on any different part of their life and identity. And they should not have to watch other people debate their very fucking existence. And they should not feel compelled to have to come into a comment section and justify their existence. And I will not engage with that on their behalf. Okay? So, just to like set the boundaries. Do I sound like I'm yelling? A little bit. Is my blood pressure up? Yes. Politics has always been something I struggle to talk about. But we live in a different world than the one I was raised in, both politically, but also the way things get talked about. Also, we don't always know what we should do with it, but we know we have the responsibility of a platform, right? And there comes times for us where we can't just like bitch about the things we don't like. We got to do something like this. I don't think this is our first time ever doing this. It's just the first time in a while.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are things I wanted to say and that I have forgotten. That's okay. Okay, so we are going to start with some of the things in the news and point you to some places. I have a shit ton of notes, okay? First of all, we're going to start with, I'm saying Minnesota because if you are even slightly aware of the world, you know what that means. Renee Good's death, Alex Preddy's death. Those are not the only two people who have died throughout all of these ICE raids. They're the ones we know about and are the most immediate right now.
Yeah.
And it is not just Minnesota. I've linked all my resources and all the places I'm pointing you to in the places, show notes, and description box and YouTube, so you can go see this stuff for yourself. Current plans and I think almost immediate future plans for ICE raids. We've got Florida. They are currently in Orlando and Tampa and Miami. They were probably elsewhere in the state, but those are the big ones. Maine. I've seen about Portland. California, they're all over the place. Let me be clear. Keith Porter Jr., a black man, was killed. Was it New Year's Eve or New Year's Day?
Yeah.
Presumably by ICE, but there's not a lot of reporting. Thankfully, some of the people I follow have talked about that. New Orleans and South Mississippi. Chicago, Charlotte, North Carolina, Memphis, Tennessee, Denver, Philadelphia, Phoenix, Atlanta, Seattle, New York City, Washington, D.C., and the one that I went, what? San Juan, Puerto Rico.
I know.
I don't know why I went, what? I think that might be my own, like, lack of education, but I was like, I mean, Puerto Rico is American territory.
Yeah.
Like, they are Americans. But I was like, if you're picking up black and brown people, like,
well, you know, it's funny. During the first term, when that hurricane hit Puerto Rico, you know, and they were ignored because they don't really, not really. Us.
The amount of people who don't realize Puerto Rico are Americans is so maddening. Anyway, we're not getting into that.
Sorry.
So, if you're like, how do I help the people? How do I help people in my own city, in my own town, in my own state? Okay. Minnesota specifically, if that's like you're drawn there, there's a site called standwithminnesota.com. It is got a shit ton of resources of ways you can donate, give, volunteer, whatever. And you can go by your subject matter area of preference. So if you want to help with food pantries, if you want to help with pets, if you want to help people who need help paying their rent because they can't go to work because they're terrified of being picked up off the fucking street, whatever, it's there. It's a massive site. There's tons of stuff. It's all specific to Minnesota. If you're looking more broadly or you're trying to narrow it down to your location, let me scroll here, y'all. There's a site called welcome.us. It is all about being welcoming to immigrants. There are all kinds of ways to get involved. And then the one that I liked because it gave options by state is called Win Without War. They're immigration and mutual aid resources. This is not comprehensive for every state, but if you're like, I don't even know where to start, find your state and see what's there. If that's not enough or you want to do something different, I did this for our area and came up with some resources, so I think everybody can do this. Google mutual aid near me or your city name or your region name and Google. You have to get past all that sponsored crap and the AI crap, and then it should start giving you some options where you can put your time and attention, okay? And those organizations need all kinds of things. If you've got dollars to give, feel free to donate. If you've got time to give, if it's like hey, we're taking food donations or your gently used coat donations or whatever you've got, and that's your thing, and you're like, this is where I want to focus my attention, Just pick one thing. And that's the overarching thing I want to say, because this all gets very overwhelming, because there is so much need, so many places for so many reasons. Pick your one thing that you're really like this is my thing. This is what I'm passionate about. And then figure out start with one thing that you can do, that you can reasonably do without causing harm to yourself. Okay. Now, let me back up. I meant to say this earlier. I did mean to say this earlier. Here's my opinion of this. When I'm offering these things, I am talking to people who are probably a lot like me. You're cis, you're white, you're straight. You've never had to deal with what the system and the state and the government can do to you and how they can marginalize you and make your life a living hell. That's who I want to make sure I'm like, here's what you could be doing, and please maybe pick something. If you are a part of a marginalized community, I want you to survive and thrive. If you get involved in stuff, cool. That's a you choice, and that's what works for you. But this white lady's not gonna fucking tell you that you need to be doing something, okay? I want you to survive and thrive and do what you gotta do to get through this crazy life. So just whoever I'm lecturing the folks that look like me and JB. Let's be real. Okay. I am lecturing us. So let me put that in there. Okay. Should put that at the top. Now, that's the whole ICE raids and the current thing that is, it's painful to watch. I shut down over the weekend. I just started crying. That's how I handled it until we got to this point. Okay. So like I said earlier, pick an issue you're passionate about and then figure out the thing that maybe you can do. I'm going to go through some things, okay? Because I know if you're like me and you scroll through your social media platform of choice and you get on that side of the algorithm, maybe it's like-minded individuals, your politics, like that, you're siloed in that and it's whatever. They're all kind of yelling and screaming at you. And I find it very overwhelming at times. So maybe we can break this down. If you have extra money and you're willing, donate. Y'all, $10 means a lot to these organizations. If you can set up a recurring thing, cool, great. The charities we tend to donate to, we do not donate often. We don't always have the money to do that. But when we do, they are LGBTQ plus rights organizations, specifically those helping the trans community. That's our thing of choice, that we're like, we're going to put as much of our time and attention as we can here. Okay. So pick your thing. If you've got the cash, if you don't, it's okay. Not everybody can do that. The donation thing I saw over the weekend, people were like, there's no protest for you to go out to. You cannot physically get to a protest. If something keeps you from volunteering, do you have some cash? Because that will help these organizations render aid to the people who need them. Right. One thing we do a combination of, and there are different ways to do this. We sign petitions. We contact our representatives. We do it through email primarily, but phone calls. The last time JB did a phone call, he cussed out the senator.
I got a little, my blood pressure went up a little bit, yeah.
I mean, it was delightful.
Called a traitor.
I believe he dropped a couple F-bombs.
And yeah.
JB might be on a list somewhere, but that's fine. The cool people are, okay? I'm just saying. Now, for anybody who just completely clinched over the idea of a phone call, I feel you. Here's my theory on it, because I'm getting there myself. If all you can do that you feel like I can do this consistently is sign petitions and send emails, there are organizations you can sign up for, and they'll send you links of, hey, go send this letter to your senator or your House rep, right? Start there, and if you can work up to phone calls, cool, because there's stuff to help you with that too. Yeah.
I use ResistBot.
Yep, that's one of the ones on my list.
It is a fantastic little thing. When there is a letter that you for a cause, it tells you what the cause is, lets you read the letter, so you don't even have to write anything. I want to send these letters. I know I'm not going to sit down and write them.
Right. The ones you have sent, I just edited for you.
That's true. You edited.
You did letters to the editor.
Yeah.
That's another option you can do for your local area.
And they are great. All you have to do, you read through the letter on your text, and then you have your choice of phone, fax, or email.
The free one is email.
Free email is free.
If you pay for like coins or credits, you can do other things, but free is email. And I've always used the free option.
Yeah, and that's what I've used, and it's a fantastic thing.
For phone calls, I saw it in the live chat, and I used to have this question too. You can go to there are websites for the Senate and the House of Representatives, but 5 calls, the number 5, the word calls, it's both a website and an app. So if you want to do everything on your phone, you can. If you want to use desktop, whatever, you can. You put in your information of where you're located, and they then tell you who your representatives and your senators are. They give you the phone numbers, and they provide scripts. So if you're like, I can do a phone call, but what the fuck do I say and who do I call? They will help you with that. What I have learned, even though I haven't worked up to phone calls yet, I admit that I'm not doing the perfect thing. Phone calls are gold standard because they have to count every phone call that comes in, and you can like flood the system and like fill their voicemails up.
Now I will,
but
and that's,
everything matters. Yeah. Emails, letters, all of it.
Now I will say this, and this is something that kind of struck me as gold a little bit in reference to the phone calls. There are some people who do not like to make the phone calls, that do not want to talk. Call on the weekends.
You're gonna get voicemail.
You're gonna get voicemail. Just leave it on the voicemail, and they still.
That's what I should do. Why hadn't I thought about that? I could leave a voicemail. I pray for voicemail every time I have to make a call. I could do that.
If you call at nights or on the weekends, you're gonna get voicemail and leave, as long as the voicemail's not.
If the box is full, then you can. But if the box is full, now I'm gonna tell my fellow. Red state folks who have only conservatives representing you, if you feel like we do politically, it can feel like it doesn't matter. They're not going to change their mind, right? That is true. But here's the thing. Politicians are political, and they start getting worried the closer they get to an election as more people yell at them. So you might not change their mind, but maybe you can make them worry about how that election's going to turn out for them. Just saying.
With the resist bot that I like, with all the caca going on, I almost send a letter a day.
Really? I didn't realize you were. No wonder you're on your phone so damn much. I didn't realize. I did not respond to too many resist bot things. I've been doing online through emails that are coming through, and they stopped messaging me. So I should probably go back in and be like, "Hi, I'm here. What's the issue?
Yeah.
What's the issue of the day?" Another thing you can do, we do this. We do it either through social media and or email. We follow organizations that we believe are doing good work. So for us, that's ACLU, Indivisible, Equality Florida. Equality Florida is near and dear to our heart. We'll get to that, okay? They often send out emails or have sections on their websites of like, here's the issue that we're trying to push back on. The current one as of recording is to get the Senate to pull out the DHS appropriations bill from the bundle of bills past the other bundle of bills and deal with DHS. That's a big issue to try and get concessions. We cannot defund DHS with this appropriations bill. They got funding for days. They got funding, but this thing could make it so that maybe they don't wear fucking masks in the goddamn street. Right. I'm just saying. Anyway, so when you find an organization of choice that hits the thing you care about and you want to help with, get on their email newsletter, follow them on social. We were sitting at lunch today, and Equality Florida had a post about some Florida legislation that's some bullshit legislation, and they're like, link in bio, and I'm going, JB, link in bio, and right in Instagram, I'm sending a letter to my senators. So that's a way to do it, that you're already on your phone. You're doing something. Something is better than nothing if you have the wherewithal, right? So, and again, you don't have to do all the things we're talking about. Any one of them that's like, do that. Just like, and stick with that.
Just like Kayla said, there are times I need to step back from it all because it does become overwhelming.
His blood pressure gets so high.
Yeah, and not just my blood pressure, but it affects my depression. hearing a lot of this stuff, what's going on. And I do. There are times I just need to step back. I don't look at any news. I don't look at social media. TV doesn't go on unless I'm watching something like Walking Dead. But,
we got to finish watching Percy Jackson.
You got to do that too. So, you do what you can comfortably do.
Right.
Without harming yourself.
Right. And there's a fine line because, again, if I'm talking to the cis, straight, white ladies of the world, we can be very comfortable very easily because many things don't impact us. And so you do have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I do think start with where you're at. If all you feel like you're able to do is to sign petitions or to send emails to your senator, to your House rep, to whoever, start there because, man, it feels kind of good, I mean, do it enough, and then after a while, it becomes easier to do something else to add on. You know how we talk about with kink, please start slow, start with one small thing and build up? Mm-hmm. This is kind of the same thing. If you try to do all the things all the time, all at once, you'll burn yourself out and you'll be a wreck.
I mean,
and
now
that's not helpful either.
One thing I did right off the bat, I decided I'm no longer buying from Amazon.
Yeah, we haven't spent on Amazon since the inauguration. Yeah.
Yeah, and it since saw that person up on the, I stopped. Was it hard? A little bit.
We actually use Amazon as a search engine.
Yeah.
We need a product. We want to see what brands make
and that's now what it's come down to. Unfortunately, you search for something to buy online, Amazon's going to be right there at the top.
Right.
And I use it. I go to Amazon. I find what I'm looking for. Then I go and search out the company.
Yep. And often they are on another platform.
Right. They are on another platform, or you can buy directly.
And let me do a disclaimer. We do spend with Amazon for Kindle Unlimited.
True.
But it's $12 a month, and I read an average of 30 to 40 books a month. I believe they're losing money on me. And I am supporting indie authors.
And I piggyback.
That is our one concession. But being on Amazon Prime, we stopped that 2 years ago. That was a money thing. That was just a broke bitch thing. And the buying from Amazon, we went, this is a choice we can make. And let me remind you, we're not saying everybody else needs to go out and do that. Like, everybody has access to different things. We'd love to boycott all of the companies we disagree with. We would not be able to buy groceries.
Do anything, yeah.
So we pick and choose when it can. And I think both companies do this, but the one that I know for a fact, when it came out that Home Depot was working with ICE to pick up people who are in their parking lot trying to, like, get some fucking work, we haven't been to Home Depot since, right? Like, those are choices we make, and only you can know what's right for your situation and your family. But the not spending money, like, and that's a not doing a thing.
Yeah.
Instead of doing a thing.
And we live in an area that we have the option of still local hardware stores.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We do. Yeah, you've been going to a lot of local places.
Yeah, been doing a lot of stuff with local businesses. Yes.
Yes, and look, let us get our bias out right here. Thekinkery.com. When you can, shop small business, right?
Yeah.
Like, just in general. It doesn't have to be with us. I'm just saying, if you can, that's also helpful. And it's a thing you're doing that maybe doesn't feel so hard. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people get very in their head about all the really hard things there are to do. There are slower, smaller, quieter things that make a difference, okay? Because it's not one person has to do everything to fix everything. It's everybody who can does one small thing, and you've made a slightly better world. So, there is the stay informed. Like, you piggybacked before I got there, so good on you.
Yeah.
We believe in social media breaks. I do not. Yeah. I personally cannot, in good conscience, pay attention to nothing and stay ignorant about it all. It doesn't feel right to me. But I do have to know my own limits and go, wait, I literally can't concentrate and do the work that keeps our mortgage paid. I probably need to not go into Instagram for a little bit. But when you're staying informed, there is a lot of bias.
Yeah.
Things are being labeled fake media that aren't necessary, or fake news that aren't. Some things that should be labeled fake news are not being labeled that.
Yeah.
There are books out there you can read. I just today, I didn't have time to like look through all the lists and link things here. Found several posts by creators who were like, here's some books so you can learn about these things if what you want to be is more well informed. Your news source, my current preferred news source, is Associated Press.
Mm-hmm.
For two reasons. They are usually where some of the stories and even your local paper come from. An Associated Press journalist probably wrote it. And two, they're on their app. I can read every news story they publish, and they don't put it behind a paywall. I do not have to pay to access the news from the Associated Press.
Yeah, no.
So that is an option. Where was I? I got to find it on my list. Oh, okay. Organizations you support, follow them on social media, your preferred platform if you can. If they're active there, if that's even helpful. And then we have a handful of content creators that we follow because we feel like we're being informed without being terrified.
Yeah, without the hype and
yelled at or being sold to in some way.
Yeah.
I have linked to everybody's Instagram on these people we're going to talk about, but they are on other platforms. Two, I know for a fact, are on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can just find them in the same app that you're watching us on. My absolute favorite, I've talked about her before. Her name is Amanda Nelson. Her handle is Amanda's Mild Takes. All one word, no spaces. She'll tell you about like what's happening in the Senate and the House and politics, but she also gives historical context.
Yeah.
She was the one that gave me the reality check that the shit we're seeing now is not new in America.
Yeah.
We have been this way for a very long time. And that was great. It was eye-opening. It was also grounding because for me, thinking this was a brand new evil, what do we do about it? We don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. That was overwhelming. But going, wait, we've been dealing with these people this whole time, and we've been pushing them back, and we've been fighting and sometimes winning and like working very slowly, not fast enough for a better world. Okay. I can breathe again. I don't like it. I'm mad about it, but I can breathe again. And the other thing I like about Amanda is she's snarky as fucking shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She has no time for fools. And, she's one of the few people who can make a pun. And I'm like, no, that's actually a good one because it's snarky as shit. So Amanda's Mild Takes. When JB gets really riled up and the news he's seeing, because our algorithms sync up a little bit, but there's differences. I'm like, go watch what Amanda posted today. You'll feel better.
Yeah. And it helps. It does.
Another creator I like, his name is Jay Bowie. He is a New York Times columnist. He has a YouTube channel. I've seen him on Instagram. He's probably on TikTok because most people are. He gives good, calm, well thought out analysis on what the fuck's going on. And he's like a sweet guy to like listen. He just seems like a nice guy. The parasocial relationship there. I'm like, aw, you seem nice. But when I listen to him, the topic might be maddening and raise my blood pressure, but the information makes me feel like I walked away going, oh, I have a better understanding of that. I have more context. I'm looking at this maybe from a different angle than it was presented in another post or another news story. Jay Bowie, Bouie. A new one for me, but I like her so far. Goes by Kate_for_the_people. I watched a reel with her just yesterday or day before, and she said, I'm an independent. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I fight for the legislation. I fight against the legislation I don't like. I fight for what I do like. Her whole thing is she'll do videos showing how she calls senators and reps and what she says to them. To kind of demystify it, maybe make it seem a little easier for folks to try on their own. She also breaks down legislation. She'll also talk about where things are in the House or the Senate and the process part, and I've really enjoyed that. The last one on the list is your recommendation, Jess Craven 101, Craven with a C, 2 S's in Jess. What do you want to say about Jess?
She does a lot of things. She has a way of bringing stuff to your attention And there are times she comes up with different action things that you can do. One of the things I like about her, about once a week, she does a compilation reel of different news, good news.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos.
And she works with a lot of different content creators to bring a lot of that stuff in.
In the live chat, things were mentioned that definitely are worth a mention. PBS, local news stations, local radio, NPR.
Yeah.
PBS for sure. If you still have PBS in your area and you want a cause to donate to, help PBS out.
Yeah.
How many of us grew up on watching all of the fundraisers? Man, I always wished my mama would spend some money because I really wanted that T-shirt, mug, tote bag set.
Seeing them all up there in the phone banks.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, PBS, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting had to shut down. They lost so much funding. If I'm understanding that correctly, if I'm remembering that correctly, and PBS lost a shit ton of funding from the federal government.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's lost a shit ton of funding, and that could be an entire fucking episode. I'm not an expert. We don't have time. But if you're looking for a place to spend time, money, effort, whatever, PBS, local PBS. For when the news felt like it was peak craziness right after the inauguration last year, we were like, we want to stay informed, but I cannot watch these people yell on CNN or MSNBC, or I cannot do this. So we started watching PBS NewsHour on YouTube. Like, we didn't even pull up the channel. We just watched it on YouTube. And it was so... I've been around... Like, I don't watch cable news very often now. I used to watch too much of it. And when it kind of first started becoming a thing, when I was, like, teenage years, it was usually on somewhere. And God help us, we're in the South. Everywhere I go, Fox News is on a TV in a lobby somewhere. Ugh.
Yeah.
But it's all that yelling back and forth. I get very... overwhelmed by that. PBS NewsHour? No, they're just talking to one another like adults.
Yeah, civil conversation. Imagine that.
Even when they clearly don't agree with something,
right?
Which they're
kind of how it should be.
They're professional news broadcasters, so you're not really going to see if they don't agree, but they might push back on something.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need a break from that too, but that is where if we want to watch the news, we'll watch it. So yeah, if you can donate to PBS, your local PBS, please do. The other one I saw in the live chat was something that a lot of YouTubers and podcasters and people who make reels and TikToks promote, which is called Ground News.
Yes.
I've never tried it. I'm kind of curious. I might go in one day. But what they do is they aggregate news and then let you see what's being written by the left leaning, what's being written by the right leaning, what's being written by the
moderate,
the organizations that are considered in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you can see how things are like leaning, or maybe something that you might care about is not being covered by, like for us it would be left leaning journalists or outlets. And you learn that, wait, there's a thing that nobody's even talking about over here on the right or in the center. And the thing, Hank Green, because he got mentioned in the live chat, because he talks about it a lot now. What he said he likes, because I didn't know this either, is when you see the story and you go to click on like the headline or whatever to read more, it takes you to that company, that...
wherever it was originally.
Thank you. What are words? Okay. I don't know. So that, you're not... You might find a publication that you're like, oh, wow, I'm like getting news from them. Here they are. You can support them. And from an internet creator perspective, that's very nice when something links to your actual site.
and I've also heard Amanda from Amanda's Mild Takes talk about Ground News, Jon Stewart.
Yep.
A number of people now.
Oh, yeah. Jon Stewart's podcast. Whew.
Yeah.
Sometimes it stresses me out because he's talking about serious shit, but sometimes it's really good
It's
stuff.
very informative, the people he has on there. I've been listening to it a bit too.
His podcast is the weekly podcast with Jon Stewart. He had a conversation with a Palestinian author who is able to travel from Palestine to America, has a lot of family in Palestine, and he was talking about what his family experienced over there. And this was in the summer. We were mowing the lawn. I was listening to this podcast, and I was crying while mowing the lawn. It was tragic. It was awful. But he has those kinds of conversations, and then he talks to, like, he did an interview with Governor J.B. Pritzker. Illinois governor? Was Pritzker Illinois?
I think so, yes.
Okay, I can't remember. Somebody correct me.
Yeah.
You know, and he if you're aware of Jon Stewart, will 100% push back on somebody he don't agree with. So there's lots out there, and some of that's personal preference and who you vibe with and all that stuff. Like, I'm waiting for John Oliver to get back from his break to start the new season. Right. I need him to both depress and amuse me. Thank you very much. We watch it through HBO Max, but it's available through CNN, called Have I Got News for You? Oh my God, I can see the host face in my... Roy. I feel awful. I can see his face. We've watched his comedy special. It's comedians and politicians or journalists that come in, and you get a highlight of the news, and you get a moment to laugh about some of it, to let off steam. It doesn't take away from the importance of things, but so we're throwing a lot out there because we are probably a little too connected and probably like need to go touch some grass, but my point is wherever you like to consume information from, there'll be somebody out there who is not trying to terrify you. They're trying to inform you. Maybe they're trying to help you laugh through it. Maybe they're trying to help you like stay calm. And the calmness is so that you can go do whatever the thing is that's important to you to do to help with whatever, right? The calmness is so that you're not walking around all the time going, oh my God, I think the world is ending right now, right? Because those feelings are valid, but it's very hard to function through that. And part of how you push back against and ultimately defeat regimes is you don't just survive, but you thrive. You find moments for joy. You keep living to the extent that you can. You laugh at the fucked up headlines because of the way the comedians are talking, whatever it is. So, my thing is if none of our suggestions appeal or you're like, that's too much, how do I find somebody on my own? Here's my criteria. Do this what you will. If all they do is yell at me, if they tell me the headlines in a breathless, like, are you ready to be terrified kind of way.
Yeah.
And no, there's another one. They don't give me something I can do, right? They don't say, here's what you can do about this, whether it's now in the moment or in the future, right? And they don't show their sources on the green screen to show me the article or link or, list the URL in the caption or whatever. If they don't cite sources, I find them questionable. Because show me or tell me where you got this information from, right? Because those things, when somebody does they're yelling at me and they're making me anxious and they're not telling me where they got this information from, I'm stressed now. And that's not helpful. I can't function. So feel free to look for folks who are matter of fact, cite their sources, aren't afraid to show you where they got the information from, and are not, might be telling you scary things, but they themselves are not actively trying to terrify you. Algorithms love our fear and our anger. Things, including especially incredibly false things, travel so fast when we're angry and afraid. And that's how that's one way misinformation gets spread. So I seek out creators who inform me without freaking me the fuck out. I have found that to be the best way. I do want to mention volunteering, because that is how I kind of started really more focusing on what the hell's going on in the world around me. I write postcards for election campaigns because there's a lot we need to do, and I do believe electorally voting is part of it. Not everybody agrees with that, and that's fine. That's fine. That's what I believe. JB has worked with our local Democrats here in the county. And that's like, I do postcards. I can do that from home. It costs money to do. So if you're like, when we were on a tight budget, I couldn't. There have been times I couldn't, but when I can, I do. If you're interested in that, because it is a thing you do at home by yourself, do it naked if you want. Nobody gives a fuck. Here are the three that I work with most often. They are linked in the places. Postcards to Swing States, Activate America, Center for Common Ground. They have other activist work. If you are a person who likes talking on the phone, teach me your ways, because it couldn't be me. They do phone banking, or they'll do text banking, or there's different ways to get involved if you are interested in helping with elections, right? JB we've done not a lot, but we've done a few different things for our local Democrats. We sent postcards out for a local candidate who did not win. I was very sad.
Yeah.
I think he was a good candidate. It's just, Dems don't do well in our county. You did social media at an event. We signed up for an event where our entry fee was a donation.
Right.
That they're hopefully going to do more of. Like, it doesn't have to be all the time. In our county, they will do their monthly meetings via Zoom, so you don't have to even go to know what the hell's going on in your local. And that's assuming you're into electoral politics and like you identify as a party. Like, a lot of people are independent and are like, I don't give a fuck about either party, and that's cool. Like, I don't have an opinion on that, right? We align with a party, but you don't have to do any of these other things. Like, not a damn thing do you have to be part of a party to give a fuck about what's going on around us, right? That's just where we tend to put our time and energy. Let me just reiterate, because this was a lot of information. I did not know it would take me this long to get there. If you are so inclined and you're like, I feel like I need to do something, right? And you're like, but I can't do it all, and I can't do the thing that everybody says is the perfect thing I should do, or is the only thing that matters. Like, don't listen to people who tell you that there's only one thing that matters and can change the world. They're lying to you. Pick one cause you care about. Pick one thing within that cause you think you can do. I heard somebody say online the other day, it's what you can do sustainably, consistently. Yeah. Consistently does not mean constantly. Okay? Maybe you can volunteer somewhere and you can only do it every few weeks. That's more help than that organization had before. You can only give $10 every couple of months. That's $10 they didn't have before, right? So yeah, that's the thing I would say with anybody who is looking at the world right now and going, what the fuck is happening and how do I stop it? Yeah. Okay. Let me give just a reminder of a reality check for people who look like me and probably people who look like JB. This is not new here in America. No. This has been building in its current form for decades. And these things that we're seeing, these horrific things that are playing out in real time on our fucking phones, some form of that has been happening for decades and centuries. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Sad, very sad.
Right. I don't want to lose sight of that, because it's real easy to think this is a brand new thing, and it's really not. No. Black people have been fighting this fight in America for a long goddamn time. So that is the fire hose of information I have. Yep. Is there anything you would like to add to this portion of today's episode?
I think the only thing I'd like to say at this point, and it's something that I have been reminded of from George Carlin.
I wish he was alive for this time.
I know. He made this statement, and it's absolutely true. It is easy to lose your rights. It's not that easy to gain them.
No.
So.
No. People fought for centuries and decades for rights and still didn't have full access for a long time. Right. The other thing I'll say for anybody who's skeptical about the voting thing, saying voting doesn't matter, a couple things. One, if it didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying so hard to keep you from voting. We wouldn't hear about people being taken off the voter rolls or voter suppression stuff, right? The gerrymandering where some states are trying to have all red districts, and some states to combat that are like, I got to have some blue districts, right? If it wasn't important, they wouldn't try and rig it. Yeah. For anybody who's like, oh, well, they're all the same. There are a lot of things that piss me off about Democrats. Okay, I might vote that way, but man, some of this bullshit. Yeah. Fucking Chuck Schumer. Anyway, what I will say confidently, I don't know what Kamala Harris would have done, But I know if she had won, ICE raids would not be happening in major cities. People would not be deported without due process. People who have been killed would probably be alive right now.
Yeah.
And all of us in this fucking country wouldn't be paying out our asses for tariffs that have been one of the reasons prices have gone up. That's not the only reason. But that is one of those things would not have happened if votes had gone a different way. So I'm not going to strong arm anybody and like bully anybody into you got to fucking vote. That's a personal choice. I did not turn 18 and go register to vote. Okay. I was almost 30 before I ever registered to vote. My mother, I want to say, was in her 50s before she registered to vote. So I know it's not a thing everybody's going to, but I just want to like piss somebody off and point that out.
Yeah. I registered to vote as soon as I turned 18.
You're a better human than I am.
And I voted every election since then. Up until I met you, I was a registered independent.
Yeah, I started as an independent, and then I learned you can't vote in a primary where you might want to vote, and I was like, fuck that, I want to vote in the primary. Yeah. I want to make sure the person I like gets an extra vote. So that's when I changed my affiliation. Yeah. Okay. Anything else about this section?
No.
Okay. We have become like, not obsessed, but we've become very like focused on this kind of stuff. We really could just keep complaining about things we don't.
Yeah.
And sharing stuff that we've learned.
Yeah.
We both do a thing when we are looking at information online. If we can't personally verify it, we haven't gone to the source or whatever, we do caution each other with, I don't know if this is true. Take this with a grain of salt, because so much shit can be fake as fuck. So this thing we want to talk about, I hate putting it here because it feels like we're politicizing this, but I'm being pragmatic in knowing that the rest of the world has made this political. And quite frankly, this has probably made me even more focused on politics, because it was always important, but now it's like, So I'm pretty sure, I know some people know because I've had conversations, and some people probably get it, but we're just going to say it because I also don't want to ever feel like we didn't want to talk about this. That's not it either. We've for years talked about how we had two boys. We were wrong. We had a boy and a girl.
Yep.
Our youngest is trans. She is adorable right now. It's all social stuff right now. New glasses, new haircut, different name. Her favorite color is pink. I'm like, why couldn't it have been purple? But that's okay. I respect it. We are not going to talk about her experience in this space. Okay. You might still get proud mom shit. I love to brag about the oldest and his, crazy shit with whatever.
Right.
You might get that in the future. But we also don't want it to ever, like, in the beginning, it was privacy. She was figuring her shit out, and we were figuring it out along with her. Okay.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like, every time I stay neutral, like gender neutral, it's like, that's not right. That's not that. No, she is an adorable teenage girl, and poor JB is learning what it's like to have two of me in one house.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she didn't fall far from the tree on that one.
No, we didn't get to see it prior to. Go ahead.
Yeah, prior to this, and I get tag teamed now.
It's kind of fun
with the sass.
Kind of fun. I'm gonna support my children no matter what. But the thing that just made it like cemented in, like, oh shit, is that she's blossomed. She is the person she was always meant to be. Her personality is shining through. I was there at pre-K when she cried every day.
Yeah.
And I couldn't leave, or they would take me to the side and be like, what the hell's wrong with your kid? And now she's...
Or even through middle school, where she just sank deeper and deeper. Yeah. And now see this beautiful personality.
Oh my God. That's
that's shining, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So it's not a thing even our whole family knows. There are not people who are safe in our family. The reason it was like, we'll do it here because our politics of choice, our focus of choice is on trans rights.
Yeah.
Because it was always important, and I hate to say it, it feels like I should have been doing it anyway because I knew it was important. But now I'm like, how do I make a safer world for her?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're not going to talk about her personal details. We're not going to talk about her medical stuff. That is nobody's fucking business. That's all private. But you will hear us refer to her as her.
Yeah.
And we'll have, I'm sure, proud parent moments to like talk about. We cannot get her the healthcare she needs in the state we live in.
No.
The state is currently actively trying to make what little bit they allow harder for professionals to do what little bit is legally allowed.
They have, as parents, we cannot make decisions on medical care for her.
Nope.
Yeah, not allowed as
allowed.
Parents. That those rights have been stripped away.
Our state is all about talking about parents' rights, but sure shit not these parents' rights.
No. And now they're trying to push laws through which if a teacher or anybody in that position assists or doctor assists a kid in any of this, that they are legally then liable.
Right. So the two things are happening, and I meant to talk about it earlier because the whole video's been going for YouTube folks and I hadn't mentioned it. So the thing that we focus on most, where our energy outside of voting electoral stuff, is an organization here in Florida called Equality Florida. They were the first organization of their type in the country. And what they do is they are an LGBTQ plus advocacy group. They work to pass good legislation and get bad legislation not passed. I don't know what the words are.
Taken away.
Yeah, make that shit go away. And sometimes they're successful and sometimes there's not. So they fight anti-LGBTQ plus legislation.
Yeah.
Currently in Florida, there's this massive page of shit.
Oh yeah.
To both oppose and
support.
Thank you. What were words? I just took a couple out of the big long list for Florida specifically. They want to do a pride flag ban. They've been working on it. They want to make it worse, I guess, with legislation. They want a don't say gay thing in the workplace. They've already done it in the schools.
Yeah.
I who never thought I would be a homeschool parent am so fucking grateful to be a homeschool parent. I don't know how she would have survived in Florida school system. I don't. Knowing what we know now, I don't know how she would have survived. And then that one we were just talking about, making it easier to penalize teachers and healthcare providers for helping/supporting trans kids. Give you a little inside baseball. We are going out of state for a medical appointment for our youngest. It is not required that whoever they might be working with, like their therapist or whatever, provide a letter of support to kind of show whatever they need. I'm learning all this, so I don't even know what's in a letter of support. But they don't require it, but they like it when they can get it. I go to the therapist and I say, is this something you can do? She takes a couple days to get back to me and says, we would love to, but we cannot without losing our license in the state of Florida.
Yeah. Yep.
So, when I say that we know we will at some point be moving out of fucking Florida, we know it. It's just not easy. And I think most people understand that it's just not, people are doing it. I saw in the live chat from Mally, I think, a stat I had seen recently that 400,000 trans people have moved states.
Yeah.
In the past, was it past year?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the time frame. Yep. And we are in that list of people who are trying to figure out how that's going to be feasible for us. Yeah. So I tell you this about Florida, Equality Florida, because they helped other states have their own version. Okay. I did searches to see what it would look like if you pick your state and you go, do you have an Equality Florida, a version of Equality Florida? I found Georgia Equality, Alabama Equality, Virginia Equality. So what I'm saying is whatever state you're in, type equality and your state name, or your state name and the word equality. You might have to scroll a little bit, But once you see we are an anti-LGBTQ legislation advocacy group, that's usually how they label themselves.
Yeah.
You've got it. So if I would say two things, I would say many things. If you were in a red state and you're like, I hadn't heard about any anti-trans legislation, go check.
Yeah.
Find your equality for whatever for your state and see what they've got coming up and what they're working for or against. Okay. If you're in a blue state and you're like, we don't have to worry about that here, check anyway.
Yeah.
There are several states I have investigated for like, what did they say and what are their laws and what are their rules?
Yeah.
And some states just sound amazing, but I can't live there. But all the states that are kind of like on my list, I'm watching their legislation too, because they could come off my list real fucking quick after a single election, right?
Yeah.
Because elections fucking matter. A thing, if you do follow Amanda's Mild Takes, highly recommend, by the way. She will tell you it's local that determines almost everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Start local.
Because the anti-trans bills are coming from our state legislature. Yeah. They're not coming. I mean, federal tried.
Yeah.
Federal tried. And the one thing, thank you, Democrats, I guess, they got the anti-trans stuff pulled out of these appropriations bills going through the process right now. Thank fucking God. But it's happening at the state level probably more than most people realize. And look, trans folks who are listening or watching, y'all been screaming this. Y'all fucking know, right? I'm like late to the fucking party, but I'm here now. So I don't expect you to care about our issue. Find your issue. But if you do care about these things, if you're like, what, they're passing that kind of shit. They're not letting parents work with doctors to do what's best for a child. They're wanting to ban pride flags or say, don't say gay. I urge you, if that matters to you in any way, go find your state's version. Lola agrees. Okay. Lola fucking agrees. Mm-hmm. Look, we love an ally, even with four legs. The other thing that I got so carried away with that, I forgot to mention again. If you're watching on YouTube, you should see where there's a donate thing. We are going to utilize YouTube fundraiser things. This is our first one. We're going to utilize them more often as we go forward. We are hosting a fundraiser through YouTube for the Campaign for Southern Equality. It runs through February. Our goal is $250 because I don't know if this is a thing. Like, there's so many places you can put your money, right? Yeah. I don't want to overtax people. I don't want to be like, hey, give me all your money. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. Campaign for Southern Equality was the first organization I got in touch with on behalf of the youngest. And I almost cried the whole conversation because it was wonderful. And they have helped. We have benefited from their grant program. We are using their grant program for travel needs. And we're grateful to it.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Right. We hosting this fundraiser. It's going to run through February. If you've got it to give, thank you. Yeah. If you don't, I totally fucking get it. Yeah. I will say the thing I said at the top. If you're like, well, I could become a Patreon member with my $5, or I could give to an organization, please give to the organization.
Please give. They need help right now. They need as much help as they can. All of them
do. Our focus is trans rights. I am not going there. Here's what I will say to parents. I think it's a universal that we tend to be afraid for our children, right? Afraid for their future, afraid when they start driving, right? Like, there's plenty of things to fear. I have never been so afraid. Now, I am filled with hope. And I will fight like fucking hell. But if you're like, yeah, as a parent, I relate to the fear. For me, this has turned up a lot of fucking notches. And so, you will probably see a lot of stuff like this. Our last donation, our last fundraiser was Equality Florida. We did that through the Kinkery. We're trying to figure out a plan to do more fundraisers and who we want to do them for. There's lots of organizations that need help. This one through YouTube is the Campaign for Southern Equality, so that other people can benefit from their grants. Yeah. Once I figure out the mechanism, it should show up on most, if not all, of our videos going forward through the fundraiser, but it's a new tool I've never used. So if you can, great. If you can't, no worries. For anybody who's like, I want to do stuff and I don't have money, God knows I've been there. If you feel safe to share these kinds of things with your social media folk, and I don't mean this episode, you can if you want, if there's somebody you would like to be yelled at, this is fine. But like the organization that you're like, I want to support this organization. This is my cause of choice. And you don't have money to give, spread the word about them, because there will probably be somebody who's got $10 that they can give. Okay. I know I can't talk about this stuff without crying, both happy tears and angry tears. So thanks to, oh my gosh, all of these donations that have come through. I saw Tayshu at the top of the stream. JB had to go deal with Lola, who might be eating cat shit in the backyard. Thank you to Kim. Thank you to the anonymous donor. I appreciate that. Andre had the idea we should do a dollars for demos. For the fundraiser, for sure. I will happily be hit with weapons of mass destruction. We got to make some more weapons of mass destruction though. Hopefully by the Friday, the February Friday live stream. Okay, when JB gets back and gets settled, I'll let him share any thoughts he has that he has not shared, and then we'll go to the third section of this episode. And we still have a bonus section because we've got Ella and Lola news. Yeah. Anyway, is there anything you would like to say about our happy news, and also why? Why are people that, like? Yeah. Why is America?
All I want to say is I want to see her be able to grow and be happy
and thrive
and
live whatever her life is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Silent asked in the live chat if her anxiety has maybe gotten changed or gotten any better. This is still one of the most anxious human beings I've ever met in my life. But you know what she's not anxious about? Who the fuck she is.
And to me, it seems like it is better.
She is able to articulate it better. She can recognize what it is. She can talk through it. That's a lot of therapy. That's just some maturation. She's 16 now. She handles it. I think she does handle it better, but it's almost like all of the anxiety genes from all of the generations from me back, quite frankly, through the women in our family, were concentrated and inserted into this child. Because, I always thought, oh, I'm an anxious human. My mom is so anxious. No, the youngest has us beat. But she is doing better. There's a lot of growth there. Okay, now we're going to actually talk about kink.
Yeah.
It's a question we got ages ago. I've had thoughts about it ever since. I don't know that the answer is going to be satisfying because we believe in nuance, but can you be in a power exchange with somebody that you don't agree with politically? You're on differing sides of the political spectrum.
It depends.
It's the most dissatisfying answer, right?
It is, but that you can't. I was in a long-term relationship with somebody who is very conservative, and you see where I am today, among other things.
This is not power exchange, but yes, my mother and man she married are on complete opposite sides of the political spectrum. And that's not a happy relationship, not just for that, but that's a big fucking part. Here's how I break it down in my head. And I think there's more ways than what I can come up with, but this is what I've come up with. If you are politically active or knowledgeable or engaged, right, on your side of the political spectrum, and your partner is one of a few things, I think the outcome might change, but it is a personal decision for you. If they are completely apolitical, they do not look at the news, they don't know what's happening outside of whatever their hobbies are, they don't even vote, but they, registered Republican and you're a Democrat, but they're not doing anything with it, they're not supporting anything, I think that's worth a conversation. Like, why are you registered if you don't support? Register independent, right? If your state does that. That becomes a conversation for you of, do I want to be in a power exchange with somebody who does not care about this thing that I care about? That's a choice only you can make. If you're in a relationship with somebody who votes, but they vote who they've always voted for, they're not engaged in politics because maybe they say they just don't care, but when a big election, they're always going to vote for the same party no matter what, regardless of what's happening. This is dissatisfying, but only you can decide if that is okay with you, if you can live with that. There are people I know who would never be them. And then there are people I know who are like, everything else is good. Maybe they'll change. Maybe we can have these conversations. Maybe we can grow together, like whatever. I don't think there's a singular right answer here. It gets trickier when you both are pretty fucking firm and activated and know what you think and how you feel. Now, here's what my decision would be. I don't know that I can trust a person with the responsibility of control over me if they literally do not care about other people. They don't care that rights are being stripped away. They don't care that people are being killed in the streets. They don't care that, we have federal agents who think they can walk around not showing their face, not having a badge number, not giving a last name, like nothing that the police would have to do. These guys, like, if they actively are telling you that they don't give a fuck or they support it, and you are actively on the other side going, that's a violation of due process. That's unethical. That's evil. That I don't know how you do it because I could not. Are there people who decide they can do it? Yup. That goes back to a personal decision. I think it's how you view both the politics of what you believe wherever you're at on the spectrum of politics, and also how you feel about power exchange. I don't need a partner who agrees with me on everything, but I do want a partner that has similar ethics and morals and values to me. Yeah. Because there can come a time when shit gets real fucking real. And if we don't align on how we think people should be treated regardless of who they are, and we don't align on, does our Constitution count for everybody or just a few special people? Like, and that's important to you, right? Now, if you are just like your registered thing one way because you just are and you just don't care, and they're the same way, you're probably going to be fine. Yeah.
There comes a point.
It depends.
It depends on a lot of things. And I mean, you can even, I've done this with friends in the past, I don't agree with you, but can we agree to disagree?
And see, and I think it depends. Policy.
Oh, yeah, it definitely depends.
If we're talking about, here's this bucket of tax dollars, and I think it should go to this, and you think it should go to that, that's a political discussion. But the current situation in the world, we don't have those conversations. We literally say, I don't think one side says trans people should not exist. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I can't policy discuss my way out of that with somebody. I can't make you see the humanity of my child if you were determined not to. And look, cis white lady here, just like jumping on the right. Many of y'all have been here. Your whole lives have been this. I cannot speak for you. I do not want to talk over anybody. But this is me reminding others who look like me, that none of that's new either. It's just more obvious. Yeah, and Mr. Spock said it, I think. I wasn't sure Mr. Spock was quoting silent or answering silent. I wouldn't feel safe in a BDSM relationship with someone who didn't believe in basic rights. That speaks a lot to questions about how they'll look at consent.
Yeah.
Thank you. 100%.
That's a, yeah.
But I'm not going to vilify somebody who has a partner and a power exchange that works that you don't align politically, because it is a personal choice. I can only tell you what I'm going to do. But I do think it depends on how political are they, because a lot of people don't care. Half the fucking eligible voters in the U.S. do not vote, whether they're registered or not. I can't remember if that number is that they're not even registered or they just don't vote. I cannot remember. But half those people probably have partners. You know what I mean? And some of those partners are voting. And it's entirely possible that with a person who just doesn't seem to care, it's not a priority, it doesn't affect them enough for them to want to care. Or, and this is very real, they believe it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who have been conditioned to think it doesn't matter. They've been conditioned to think that both sides are exactly the same. No. There's some problems. There's some shit I want to change in my particular party affiliation. But there are differences, right? And some of them are stark differences. And voting does matter.
Yeah.
It is possible that you, as the political one, with a supportive partner who supports your endeavors and is like, I don't give a fuck, but I'm happy for you. We do influence the people around us. You know, not immediately, not quickly. It can take a long time. Sometimes, and I hate this, but I've also been this. Sometimes it has to impact us personally before we can step up in the way we need to. Should it be that way? No. I think basic empathy and caring about your fellow human being and their basic right to fucking exist peacefully shouldn't be a thing we don't care about. And the thing I've been telling JB this whole time since he became a little bit more politically active. I was like, look, I've been a blue dot in a sea of fucking deep red conservative my whole life, except for the 5 years we lived in the Tampa Bay area, and I got to be in a purple area, and it was a whole new fucking world. Okay. But I've been in these spaces, and I know how some, not all, some of these people act. Yeah. They do not give a fuck until it impacts them personally. But you know what? I don't have to like those people. I don't have to forgive those people, but I sure as shit will take their fucking vote and take their money and take their support on the causes I care about if they'll finally fucking get there. When I told JB both times this president got to be president, that people probably would not care until it would have to get real bad for the people who voted him in before there was change. I didn't know how bad. And I didn't want to be right. But I remember the Tea Party. I feel like I was there the day the Tea Party started because I lived in a deep red fucking area where MAGA is currently very popular. Tea Party was thriving. Yeah. And if you're old enough to know who the fuck the Tea Party was, if you know, you know. I've lived it. I've been around it. I've got people in my family who are it, and I see how many, not all, of those people are. Until it matters to them personally, it doesn't matter. And I don't want the world to be that way, but that's how the world is for some people. I think it would be better if they weren't like that. So, yeah. Can you be in a power exchange with somebody you are not politically aligned with? It depends. And I think it starts with your personal ethics. Do you want a partner who maybe you don't agree on every topic, but you know you have similar morals and values and ethics? Yeah. If you're aligned there, I think the rest can be figured out. The rest can kind of be like, okay, maybe we don't disagree on how the tax dollars should be spent or what the property tax millage rate should be. That's fine. Can we go to a time when we could just discuss that? That's where we disagree on shit. But, you know, if you've got a partner who's like, I think every book that I don't like that I have not read should be banned, and you're like, actually, I think kids should have access to all kinds of books. Yeah. There's some alignments that don't align, you know. I think some people don't deserve, you know, full rights and humanity within our country. And you're over here going, but I do. That's a problem. I don't know how you, was it square that circle that, close. There's a expression.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now either.
Somebody will remind me in the comments. So yeah. I hope I don't get yelled at too much, but I just need folks to know, if you want to yell at me, you are yelling at your fucking self, because I'm not talking to you. I am firm in my beliefs. I know where I stand on things. I am willing to be wrong on the details of something, on the specific like facts, but not in the. I don't think I'm wrong in the spirit. I have said this many times over the past 10 plus years, that I do not understand how somebody can be kinky and somehow think that they are better than other facets of humanity, because you can lose access to certain parts of society just for being kinky too. Is it the same as being a person of color or being in the LGBTQ plus community? Of course not. But it's still, I promise you, kinky people, there are entire swaths of population in every country that do not approve of your kinkiness, that think that you are deviant and wrong. And they are across the political spectrum. I know plenty of extremely, is it leftist? Is it liberal? The language is changing for the Democrat side, and I have not kept up yet. So I don't, the far left, there are some extremely liberal people who think all BDSM, all porn, it is inherently evil and should not exist. So I feel like if you're going to be kinky and you're going to be up in this community, you're going to have to learn about inclusivity and giving a fuck about more than just you. Because there are people in this world who would take away your right to be kinky if they thought they could.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Ooh, Silent had a very good point to make. I don't know in what part of the conversation this comes up in, but the point in general is spot on.
Okay.
Silent says, I feel like the BIPOC, that's Black, Indigenous, people of color community, LGBTQ plus community, disabled, and other marginalized communities have different thoughts on how different your views can be while coexisting. 100 fucking percent.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm not speaking for none of y'all. Y'all tell me, okay? Y'all tell me, because that is, we have different experiences. And just remember, anybody, some of y'all know, I'm going to say the thing, you're like, duh. We speak through the lens of our experience. We try to broaden our horizons. We try so hard to remember that our experience is not the experience. We will miss shit, okay? Because there are experiences we literally cannot have. So, when we can, let me put that out there for y'all. For people who, let's listen to the people who are living this shit, right? And can tell us, wait, this is my experience, because it will be different from mine. 100% every day, all day. Which is why we need to be more fucking inclusive in general, because everybody's got a point of view and everybody's got an experience. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So, for anybody who wonders, yes, I will obsess over everything I didn't say, thought I said. Was that tone right? Did it come across the way I meant to? Did I sound like a dumbass? This one, usually I do it for 3 or 4 days. This one, I think we'll have a week or so. I'll be obsessing over it. For anybody who recognizes this, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and then like hours later, sometimes days later, sometimes years later, why? You're like, why did I say that thing? Did I say that right? I do that with the podcast. Everything we record. Everything we record. And the more desperately I want to do right by a topic, the more I obsess. So... I'm sure I missed some things. I'm sure there's some things to add. Certainly resources I could not have listed. We could not have listed every resource. We would still be here just reciting resources. Those kinds of comments, the kinds of comments that are helpful for people to, here's a place where you can go learn. Here's a place who needs your time and attention. Here's an issue to consider. Please share it in all the ways that you can, because there will be other people who find your comments and will be like, oh, that's a thing. I didn't think about that. Oh, that's a thing that interests me, whatever. But yes, if you would like to put fingers to keyboard to debate me, bro, kind of on politics and on our personal ethics, morals, and values, you're talking to yourself. I don't care. I feel like I want to say that because it's important, but I also know some people take that as a challenge. I'm just blocking and deleting it as I see it. Just so you know. So. All that, and we could go into a bonus section if you're ready, JB.
I'm as ready as I'm going to be.
Oh my gosh.
So are we good?
I don't know.
Keep it kinky, y'all.
And we'll see you next week. Can we talk to the crickets?
Yes, baby girl.
About our cats and dogs?
Yeah.
I say dogs like we got more. We got one.
Yeah.
She is not currently wearing her cone of shame. That's
Nope.
Lola, for anybody who's new. So we took her to the eye doctor. She still has ulcers in her eyeball, which part of that was why she was scratching at her eye, and she had to wear the cone of shame so she would stop scratching at her eye because she was causing more ulcers by scratching at her eye. And the doctor said, ooh, she's almost healed. There's still a little bit of ulcer left in here. Keep giving her the antibiotic drops.
Antibiotic drops
Right.
3 times a day, and the sodium chloride 4
times a day. And the antibiotic you have to give 20 minutes before you give the sodium chloride, or the sodium chloride won't work the way it's supposed to work.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, is it?
The way he explained it to me was the antibiotic, it's a liquid antibiotic drop into the eye, and
It pulls out moisture.
no,
Oh,
that goes in to stop any infection.
right.
The
I know
sodium chloride, that's what draws the water
Right,
out.
which is why you have to do the antibiotic before
20
you do the
minutes
sodium.
before.
Right, because neither will work the way they're supposed to work. Neither.
No.
Well, I guess you're right. The sodium chloride would work.
would work,
The antibiotic would not.
But then it would counter the antibiotic.
Taking care of Lola's meds, including her eyes, is JB's new full-time job. I used to want to complain about dealing with the litter boxes, and then I just watched JB with his Lola pill organizer,
Yeah.
and I went, you know what? I'm going to shut my fucking mouth. I don't have a single problem.
It was getting so confusing with her meds, what she takes in the morning, what she takes at night, what has to be done. So yeah, I put together a pill minder for her. I had to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I couldn't keep it straight for the poor thing.
So what they said was, even though her eye is still healing a little bit, the actual eyeball, the wet gloopy part, not around her eye, as long as she's not scratching at her eye, she does not have to wear the cone of shame. She is happy. We are happy. All of our furniture that's movable by the weight of a 72-pound dog is happy. Our end tables were just everywhere.
She was moving furniture around left and right, redecorating.
Yeah. Or when she couldn't get through a spot that she normally could without her coat on, she'd just look at you with the most pathetic.
Do you know?
little
I
look.
want to tell you something. You know how she likes to go through that spot between the end table and the sofa?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
She plows by me.
She had not been able to go through that particular spot that she does with the cone on.
Not for lack of trying.
Right. Now, this morning, when I woke her up and we did, do you know, she went, when I got up to go to the kitchen to start feeding them, she went around, went to that little cutout, she looked at it, and then she walked around the other way.
Sweet baby.
Yeah.
Now, the thing with Lola is, the thing that's wrong with her eye, please don't ask me to explain it. I will fuck that up. But it's an ongoing problem. And the fact that she might get ulcers in her eye could become a pattern. It could be a thing that happens and goes and happens and goes. And what they said was, if we can keep her stable where she's not getting these ulcers in her eye consistently, and we're not constantly having to give her an antibiotic and put the damn cone on, then cool, we can just, as the doctor said, ride this wave, okay?
Right.
But if this starts becoming an ongoing thing where we're constantly having to do this, then we have to look at surgery.
Yeah.
So we are hoping this is a one-off and we know what to look for and it'll be fine. But we are prepared that there may come a time that they have to do surgery on her eye.
Yeah. And they were really nice at the office. They told us, if you're ever in doubt, take a picture of her eye and send it to them, and they will, advise what.
It's weird to have an ophthalmologist for a dog, but I do like them.
Yeah.
The tech who always is always there. That person just works every time we go in. Loves Lola.
Oh yeah.
If Lola was not so stressed out about being there, Lola would love this person. Okay, but she's too stressed. She does not want to be there.
You know what I like about her? She understands pities. when we first went in there, okay, she obviously saw Lola was nervous, but
so obvious.
She took, she had the camera, she had this other stuff that they were going to do. She let her sniff everything. She let Lola sniff everything, and Lola was fine. And that's something I've noticed with Lola. If she sniffs something, once she knows, it's fine.
That's how we can tell how stressed she is when she does not want to sniff. And that this last visit, something about this last appointment, girl was stressed out.
Yeah.
Didn't want.
Yeah.
Well, but here's how she proves how sweet she is every time. She hates being there. She would do anything to run out of that room. Sometimes it takes two of them to hold her in place to do the things. She never once snarls. She doesn't curl up a lip. She doesn't snap. It's a very suffering look. Okay,
Why?
fine.
Why?
I'll just.
Don't you love me?
Now, Lola also got to go to doggy daycare.
Yes.
We did a meet and greet because we have to board her next month. And we talked about this in last week's bonus section. I think it was bonus section. Because JB was clutching his pearls that I would just give her to anybody to watch. So it was a half day of doggy daycare, and they were assessing her for what environment would be best for her. What do we need to know about her? I think they probably are also your dog is if this was necessary, your dog's a menace, they can't come back. Yeah. Lola could never, right? So they also text you updates, which let me just tell you something. We drop Lola off. She was nervous. It was a new place. She didn't have her cone on, thank God. She was uncertain, and it was a little bit like leaving if you've dropped a child off at daycare before in your life and they're crying, but you walk out and you find out later they were fine. It was a little bit like that. If we just leave, she'll be fine. We get in the car and JB's like, what if something happens? What if they need us? What if something goes wrong? And I'm the one, the person of contact is my phone. And I went, I think it'll be fine. I have my phone with me everywhere. But he kind of is just but what if? How would we know? Obviously, meaning they're going to call and your dumbass is not going to pick up that fucking phone. I went, look, I'll take my phone off silent. Okay. Because the only notifications, phone and text I get, because my phone is always on silent, are the ones I have on emergency bypass. That is JB and my two children. Everybody else, you'll wait till I get there. I hope you don't die because it'll be a couple minutes before I look at my phone. The three of them I want to know immediately, even when it is the oldest going, hey, can you tell me about gynecologists? That's the whole conversation. I'm not getting into it because it was wild. But even for that, I want the notification. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take my phone off silent. That way, if something comes up, I'll know that the phone is ringing. And then I spent the entire morning having the spam calls, the ones that go straight to voicemail, and the few text messages, none of which were the doggy daycare, coming through my phone. And I did not take the phone off silent until we were on our way to pick her up. Yeah. But they did send, because they asked us, they're like, do you think we should do group play where she's with other dogs? Do you think we should do the one-on-one care? Because they offer both, right? Because some dogs just should not be around other dogs. We're like, we don't know. We know she's mostly okay with other dogs, except a small yappy dog. She doesn't like those. And I went, it's not that she doesn't like them. It's that they stress her out. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So the update we get is Lola was real good. She got to lay in the sun. She didn't really want to be outside for too long. We didn't stay out there too long. She's okay with other dogs, but high energy dogs make her nervous. And I'm just like, same, girl. Same. There's high energy people. Man, sometimes I'm like, can I handle this? Sometimes I am the high energy person. That's a whole other conversation. So they were very sweet. So yeah, Lola's doing as well as Lola can do.
Yeah.
With this cold weather, she's living her best life with her heating pad.
Yeah.
It's on her bed.
Got her a heating pad.
Mm-hmm. Those old bones need someplace to
Yeah, they do.
Well, her preferred place is to lay in the sun and the rocks, but if she's inside, she now has a heating pad. She now spends a lot less time on the couch because she's got that fucking heat.
Yes.
If we had only known, maybe our couch could have survived. It's fine. Okay. Next saga in the fur babies of the Brownstone household.
I'll let you talk
Yes.
about Ella.
I know you got to go run and do something.
And
It's
I shall
fine.
be right back.
I'll be here. Ella, we talked about last week, was not peeing the right color. She's peeing the right color again, but she had a UTI. She had stones in her bladder. They really want to just do the surgery to remove the stones, but we're going to just change her diet for 3 months. We're going to change her diet for the rest of her life, but we're changing her diet to a urinary care diet. It's very expensive. Oh my God. To see if the stones in her bladder will shrink so that she can either pass them or they'll go away. I got conflicting information from the vets, but it was fine. They would not be an issue anymore. So $700 later, before the cost of the new food, Ella is doing better. She is actually getting a lot more love and attention from both of us because I think we feel bad for her. It's like, oh, you weren't just being a little shithead. You were like, there was something actively wrong. I'm so sorry, Ella. I'm so sorry. We do love you, I promise. So technically, Ella belongs to the oldest, the 20-year-old. So I texted him to go, had to take Ella to the vet. They did these tests. They did this. Here's the outcome. Because his plan is when he has a place and a job where he can take care of a cat, he wants his cat to be with him. And I'm like, cool, you got to have 2 cats or she will drive you crazy. She needs another cat with her. I think Onyx would be okay on her own because she prefers it that way. Same. But Ella will always need to not be the only cat. That cat, she cannot handle it. So, you know, we talk about when he takes Ella home with him, what that will look like. And I'm like, when you can take her to the vet to get her vaccines and, you know, and you can feed her consistently. And so it's not a right now, probably maybe after he graduates college. Hell, he might change his mind. That's fair. But I'm telling him, okay, your girl eats the bougie shit now. And it's very expensive. But it's for her health, and that's what we're going to do. And he's like, what'd you do to my cat? And my literal ass got offended and was like, excuse me? And then he comes back 2 days later. The child texts me back and goes, I was just joking. It's like, I am a literal bitch, okay? Like, you got to put an emoji in a text. If you are making a joke, but it could be read in another way. There's a reason I put a lot of LOLs when I'm writing shit. There's smiley emojis. I need you to know that this is lighthearted, and the only way I know to express that is with an LOL or a smiley, okay? I need to indicate that I'm having a good time over here. I'm not yelling. I need the oldest to do that for me. But, so, yeah, we're pretty sure there's probably going to be surgery. We're trying the diets.
Yeah.
To see blah, blah, blah. Her surgery, much like Lola, actually, we don't know what Lola's surgery would cost.
No.
Ella's surgery minimum, as of today's current prices, because we know how inflation goes, that's an $1,800 surgery.
Yep.
I'm sort of thinking, okay, oldest child, who sometimes has more money, access to her money than I might in a moment. I'm not. We're going to pay for it ourselves. I am tempted to be like, you want to pitch in for this? I can't get the child to buy his own lunch.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I really wouldn't. He's a college student. He needs to focus on that. But so, yeah. She goes back in 3 months, new x-ray, see what's happening, make decisions then. I did point out to JB that he clearly likes Ella more than he lets on. He was concerned about her. Neither of us. Did we blink when we saw the price of the prescription food? Of course. But he did not blink. Now we went, okay, this is what we got to do. And then he was like extra nice to her. So, but you know, I feel like we should know she hasn't really been feeling well because her favorite pastime is to sit in windows. And our front windows, we have is that a bay window in our window?
Yeah.
It's a big old window. And it's this wide windowsill. And she lives for sitting there and yelling at the cats who are in the front yard. One's a stray. One is just an outdoor cat. Look, I think we're dealing with an enemies to lovers situation. I think they really just enjoy hating one another, but if they got to know each other, it'd be a sweet romance. It is a love triangle. I prefer a wide shoes, but this is a love triangle. Yeah. There's Butterball the stray, who does not look like a butterball. I don't know how they got that name. He will come over and walk through the front yard in front of that window when Ella was feeling well and would spend a lot of time there. And she'd make some noises at him, and he would spray on things like at our front door. And then Coy, the neighbor cat, who's just an outdoor cat, he's not a stray, he has a home, he is chipped and vaccinated and all that. He would run Butterball off, spray on top of where Butterball had sprayed, and Ella would be screeching at him through the window. So we should have known she wasn't feeling well, because she stopped spending a lot of time yelling at the boys. Yeah. But I do think if they would just spend a little time together, they can't make babies, thank God, but they could have a beautiful romance. Anyway. That's the girls. Onyx is just living her best anxious life where she just wishes everybody to leave her the fuck alone. You know, that's it. Oh my gosh. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? Have we missed anything? Oh, I don't know if you want to talk about it.
What?
Your hand, yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, I got an answer finally about my hand. What's going on? It's not carpal tunnel.
No.
It's severe arthritis in the thumb. Mm-hmm. Apparently, there is no more gap between the, what do they call it? First metacarpal, I think, the first joint. So, it's kind of owie.
Yeah, apparently it's so severe, he absolutely qualifies for surgery.
Yeah.
But the best hand surgeon in our area is retiring.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, you're going to need to find another hand surgeon in another town. Yeah. I'm doing that research now. She'll write whatever referral.
Right.
We're both hoping that we can wait till July when JB gets that sweet Medicare.
I hope so.
Because I don't want to know what our current insurance would charge for a hand surgery. I don't want to find out if we can help it.
Yes. It's on osteo. Yes, it's osteoarthritis.
Yeah.
All the bone spurs and all the fun that goes with it.
So this was a strange situation. We should be fine with this, but it was weird. So the way the orthopedic office works, typically, you check in, you go sit down. A nice person calls you back to take your vitals, your weight, your blood pressure. Mm-hmm. And then they send you back out into the waiting area. So I never go back with JB the first time. They're just like doing that stuff. This time, I'm like, okay, I'll sit here. Okay.
They changed it up.
They changed it up. He texts me. I'm in the room. Now, technically, could I have been like, hey, can I go back there? Of course I could have. But I was like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to talk to somebody I don't know just to ask for a thing. And that would be weird. Because I was feeling away this morning. I just didn't have it in me. So what I said was, do not downplay your pain. Make sure they know. There's a reason I go in, not just because I'm a nosy bitch, but JB will not tell them pertinent information. And I'm usually there. So I was giving him tell them this. So he comes out and I'm like, okay, how are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. He's telling me, he's like, a medication he takes for his back, not for his hand. Mm-hmm. It's not even working on his hand.
Yeah, no.
But the doctor was like, oh, well, what's going on there? He lists like the arthritis and the bone spurs and the discs and the back. She goes, and this is her response. Her immediate response is, oh my gosh, you are a hard worker, aren't you? Like physically doing, like you have beaten the shit out of your body, man. It's clapping back now. It's not tolerating it now.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I hate that it's those kinds of injuries that the doctor clocks is, manual, like you've worked hard. You physically worked hard.
I've worked since I was 6 years old.
I know. We've had those conversations. I won't rant about that here. But yeah, I was like, he is a hard worker. And I was thinking 11. I wasn't even thinking like baby. So
So, yeah.
That's the saga with the procedures with JB and the dog and the cat.
And we did a little stuff around the house.
We
did.
did.
I finally finished all the screens. That took me a hot minute. Well, I stopped. I had to slow down because of my hand. But the screens are all done, and we have replaced our outside lights on the house. Mm-hmm. One of them just fell off the wall one day. Literally, we were sitting back here and we heard a crash and opened up the door and it fell off the wall.
I think our outdoor lights are very nice. They're definitely my style for sure. I love a satin or a brushed nickel. That's like my jam. And so JB indulges me.
Yeah.
We had our septic tank pumped.
Yeah.
And that was so funny because most people do not call the septic tank company until things have gotten very, very bad. And so they're like, are you having problems? And JB's like, nope, I'm trying to prevent them. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and like suck that up. Make that go away.
Yeah. Yeah. So
who knew they worked on Saturdays to do like maintenance stuff, not to like fix problems. Yeah, I would expect that, but I was like, okay.
And it was cool. They did that, and he said septic tank everything is fine. Mm-hmm. He complimented me on taking the 2 trees out.
Yeah, because I was going to kill our septic tank too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Silent. I said Onyx is fine. She's just an anxious bitch as always.
Yeah,
like
Onyx is being Onyx.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. We have ordered the new door. I complained about this in Discord. To replace a door, it requires a permit. That was new to me. We learned something new. It's a $300 permit for the door. But we are getting a new back door. Now, why do you all give a fuck? Mm-hmm. If you watch our YouTube videos, the light gets wonky. Part of that, not completely, but part of that is our back door. So getting a new back door, there's many things that will be better with that new back door. Oh my God. Oh yeah. So Silent, we live in the county part of outside this.
We live just outside of the city.
It's deep suburbia. You would not know we were outskirts of the city, but we are.
They asked, what's a septic tank? A tank is basically, where all your sewage goes.
When you flush your toilet?
Yep.
It's got to go somewhere.
When you take a shower. So, in the cities, it's in the sewer, so it goes to a main pumping station and is dealt with. But here, it's buried in your yard, front or back, and it collects all that stuff, and then
and sits there.
Well, no, it doesn't actually sit there. That's the tank, and then off the tank is what they call a leach field. Okay. Okay, and there, the liquid will flow out and disperse itself into the ground.
But the rest is just sitting
there. This is I want to say like 3 or 4 feet down that this leach field is dug usually. Okay.
And you do monthly maintenance to help our septic tank stay healthy.
I do. I
try. Thrive, because nobody wants a septic tank problem. Nobody wants anything to crack, break, explode. Whatever happens with septic tanks, I'm not even sure. I just know it's tragic every time.
Back in 1982.
Oh, God.
And I was
3 years old.
I bought my first house. Moved into said house, right? Mm-hmm. A week later, water backing up everywhere. Tub, toilet, sinks. Come to find out, the people from the neighbors, this is how I found this out from the neighbors. The people who sold the house knew that the septic tank and leach field was bad. They had the tank pumped, and then they did not allow any water to go down. They went somewhere. They took their laundry.
Off the water.
Well, they
didn't even use
it. They lived there.
Right.
They did live there, but they took their laundry out to wash. They went to a friend's house to take a shower. So they had the tank pumped. So when the home inspection was done, and this was back before they had, buyer warranties on this. Even way before that. So So a week after I moved into this house, I was out there digging leach field.
Are you a homeowner if something doesn't fuck up within about a week of moving into your home? The first house I ever bought We moved in the first few days. It was the summer when I bought it. The AC, which had been fine for the home inspection, I did what they suggest. They recommend. I had a home inspection.
Yeah.
AC worked. Closed on the fucker. Moved our shit in. The AC died. Now, I did not think to say something to my realtor about it because I was like, well, we've closed on the house, right? She was actually like a professional colleague, and we were friendly with one another, and like I picked her as my realtor for multiple reasons, mostly because we vibed together. But she's also a really good realtor, took care of her clients. And she was like, oh my God, why didn't you call me sooner? I was like, I didn't think I needed to tell you. I've closed on the house. What are you going to do? My realtor helped me buy a new AC unit, and then got like some people she knows who can professionally to install it for me at like cost or something, like some crazy thing. Wow. Which ironically, AC problems follow me everywhere, because when you and I moved in together for the first time, that was the thing that died on the first day.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then we had the problem in the condo when we moved in there. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I just don't think you're a homeowner if something doesn't break, burn down, fall off, or just crumble right after you close on your new house.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
All right.
Anyway, we could keep going. Y'all know us, but anyway, for anybody who watches on YouTube, hey, podcast listeners, if you're willing to come to YouTube, want to donate to Campaign for Southern Equality, help them give out more grants to trans folks who need medical care and cannot get it in the South. That will be open and available through the end of February. If you're interested in any of the resources, I've linked to nearly, if we mention anything it was off that's not linked, that's because it was off the cuff. I purposely linked to everything in my outline, my notes, so they are there. And even though Mally in live chat is asking for 5 more minutes, because as of recording it is 4:55.
Yeah.
Leah is now adding to the begging. I do have to cook dinner, and 5 is a round number.
And I have to feed the girls.
So we're gonna go.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
And I need to put Lola's second drops in, because that's what I did when I stepped away. I gave her first eye drop.
So next week we'll be back to our more normal topics you are used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for being here. To the bitter end. Okay. Bye.
Bye.